Hi, everyone. It's Jess Hamill from Toronto proper, and I'm so excited today to invite Dervola Hamill, no relation, to talk about how important movement is in these strange, unprecedented times where we're all stuck here working from home. So it's my pleasure to introduce you to Dervola. Hey, Derv, can you hear me?
That helps. Can you hear me now?
Perfect. I can hear you. How are you?
I'm great, Jess. Thanks for
Good.
having me on today.
Of course. So nice to see your smiling face.
You as well.
So I know most of us are kind of trapped in our hamster cages here working from home, and it's a
Yeah.
lot on the body. It's hard being cooped up and not having our regular movement patterns. So one thing that I found is really helpful is working with you doing Pilates. And, obviously working in your beautiful studio, we can see behind you, wasn't an option. So we've kind of transitioned to doing it virtually, which I found has worked really, really well. But for those people who don't know, what exactly is Pilates?
Well, yes, Pilates, in a nutshell, it's a movement regime. It's an exercise regime that focuses on the pillars of mindfulness in the movement, um, breath, and a lot of spinal focus, so spinal articulations, which is really makes it unique from other modalities because we really focus on a head to tail sequence of the spine, rotation, and making sure that the body has a balanced musculature.
Mm-hmm.
So what you won't see in Pilates is, um, you know, overdoing a muscle, a certain muscle just to the point where it's gone to complete exhaustion,
Right.
because that would create an imbalance to the body. And especially now, like you said, we're all at home. We are definitely sitting a lot more. I know, even though um, I'm a movement specialist, a movement professional, I'm now at a desk job. I sit and I coach
Mm-hmm.
clients while I'm sitting and staring through. So I notice a difference in my own body too. And I have to work hard to make sure that I move and move in a mindful way,
Mm-hmm.
something that is effective.
Right.
So it's going to be more than just, getting up, and you want to move the blood through your body, and you want to move your heart. Yeah. So something like jumping jacks would be great,
Right. Which
but
I ended up doing in my session yesterday.
yeah, we
Yeah.
did a little bit of that, which is not typical of Pilates,
Right.
but Pilates is really about helping you be better at everything else you do. So all your other sports, um, or your lack of sports. So
Right.
even walking is not going to give you that full body mobility of working all your muscles and ligaments,
Mm-hmm.
stretching them and strengthening them.
Right. So I think we're coming up on working together for about 2 years now. And one thing I'll say about Pilates is it's one of those modalities that looks effortless, but is extremely challenging if you bring the intention to the exercise.
And that's the mindfulness,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. And I think what brings the success to the method is the repetition.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because we don't have the apparatus, I'm not able to put you on a reformer or on the tower or on the chairs right now. Because you have that experience and you know what it feels like, that's what you use to channel the work on the mat.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have that experience, one day it would be great to explore it for sure.
Right.
It makes everything you do on the mat just that much more, it makes it make sense.
Right.
Um, but I think that the clients that have maintained doing their 2 to 3 sessions a week are really noticing that, without the distraction of the other equipment, the toys, the fun things,
Right.
they're really improving with their
Mm-hmm.
total body control.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's
I'm finding that.
contrology.
Absolutely. And I'm finding I'm definitely breaking a sweat, but it's also kind of a nice mental break for me too, to kind of go inwards and really connect with my body. So I've been really enjoying working with you from home. It's been lots of fun.
In a way, it can almost be described as meditation with movement.
Right.
So sometimes you can have a walking meditation. You can take a walk out in a green space and focus on your breath, breathing in, breathing out. And that's really great. And when you take that information onto the mat, you're focusing on activating, using your entire body for every movement, and use the breath.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have it as a vigorous full body workout that's going to very, challenge you and make you sweat.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just needed to move mindfully, you can also take it back a little bit, take it a little bit slower, and be very deliberate through the movements.
Right.
You want to incorporate for sure some of the hip opening, back bending.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I find even now, like I can find myself hunched over, and how nice that opening feels after being kind of kyphotic and hunched over the computer all day.
yeah, we don't even realize, like, the head being, people say between 8 and 12 pounds, you
Mm-hmm.
take it a little bit forward, every
Oh yeah,
degree forward is going to put strain and stress. So it feels like your neck is tight when actually it's probably just weak,
weak,
and it
absolutely.
needs to be strengthened and sort of lifted up. So
Mm-hmm.
Pilates is so great. I've been doing it I started as a client, and I've been doing it for 18 years
Wow.
and teaching for 15.
Right. So
So
for
I walk
new,
the talk.
yeah, absolutely. So for new people, how can they get started? I know you've got virtual sessions that are happening, one-on-one, and some group class options, and also some complimentary live Pilates classes on Instagram. So what's the best way
Yeah.
to get started if you're new?
So I highly recommend, if you're new, to work with a professional, to do some privates. It is an investment, but it is worthwhile. And I often say the Pilates is the language of movement. It is like learning a language. And if you were going to invest in that, you would need to take some time to do it. You wouldn't learn how to speak, you know, Italian, for example, or Spanish in one
Right.
week. You really need to be consistent with it.
Mm-hmm.
So the private sessions are really focused on getting you, specifically you. A lot of people have injuries or things that prevent them from doing all the exercises as they should be done.
Right.
So we have to start somewhere. But if that's not available to somebody and the price point is not feasible, then I do offer Zoom classes right now. That's what we're doing,
Mm-hmm.
virtual classes.
Yeah.
And on my Wednesday, I have a 4:30 that is a level one sort of Pilates, but also fundamentals of Pilates.
Right. So good
And
place to
that's
start.
a very good place to start. And even if
Mm-hmm.
people um, say, oh, well, I've been doing physical fitness for a while now. I work out and I do all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Pilates is a little bit different. It's a lot different, actually. And the way I teach it is to make sure that you have full body integration. And that means that you have to think about a lot of things that you
Right.
may not be used to thinking.
Right.
If you've been doing Pilates for a while and you're ready for an additional challenge, then I welcome those people to join my Monday class, which is more of a level 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
And we go through the mat exercises in the order of the traditional order of exercises.
Mm-hmm.
And again, through that repetition, you just build on your technique and your strength to build on the principle of flow and
Right.
precision.
Right. Oh, that's so awesome. I love seeing the big tough guys come into these classes and they think, they're strong, and it really is humbling. I mean, when I first started, I didn't have
Yeah.
hardly any core strength. And it's humbling for sure to realize, that this is a starting point and you have a journey, and, this is
Hmm.
maybe taking the first step to protecting your core, protecting your spine, and just how good life can be when you can move well without pain.
Absolutely. And I think that sometimes when people might see what Pilates teachers are doing, it can be intimidating. Like, oh
Mhm.
gosh, there's no way I can do a roll up. But I want to assure you and the people that are watching that I can meet you where you're at.
Mhm.
There's always ways, with 15 years of experience and being fully certified twice.
Mhm.
Um, there's tips and tricks and ways around it to build you
Mhm.
up to effective movement. So, don't be frightened and don't be intimidated. But it really is going to meet you where you're at and take you to places you never thought you could go. And you
Yeah.
have, Jessica, really, you've blown me
Ah,
away how well you've come.
so sweet.
And especially leading up to your trek, your Sahara trek,
Yeah.
you were so committed, and
Ah.
it really made the difference, like,
Mhm.
You did
Yeah.
2 times a week, but you did other things.
Right.
And yeah, so good.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet. Yeah, you do really strike that balance between being warm and compassionate, but pushing people to achieve more than they think they can. So that's a really unique quality that you have,
Thank
and
you.
I feel very lucky to work with you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I should also add that since we've been in isolation, I've been
Mm-hmm.
adding a weekly compliment, like a free class on the Instagram Live. So
Mm-hmm.
for anyone who has Instagram, now, my plans for tomorrow class will be a little bit more up tempo, faster paced, a
Awesome.
level 2, 3. And I will be doing it as a split screen with another participant.
Cool.
So the last couple of weeks, I've done more sort of pre-Pilates basics to help people get into it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, so if anyone wants to see that, just know that this person that I'll be doing it with tomorrow has been practicing for quite a
Right.
while, like yourself, and can handle a faster pace. But that's what we
Right.
want to work towards. We want to work towards something.
For sure. And
I'm
always go at your own pace. If don't push
always,
yourself, but listen to your body.
oh yeah, like if you have an injury, a hernia,
Mm-hmm.
you want to omit those rolling exercises. Don't
Right.
be a superstar, or try to
Mm-hmm.
be something. Just observe it. It's always good to observe to see what it can be or what it should look like. And
Mm-hmm.
remember, you have to walk before you run,
Yes.
or practice the scales before you can learn how to play music. So it's the same thing with
Absolutely.
Pilates. But it's
Awesome.
worthwhile for sure.
It is. Yeah, I've noticed a big change. I really enjoy it. So thank you so much for speaking about Pilates. And Instagram Live is going to be tomorrow at noon, right?
Yeah,
So
that's right.
Friday at noon. And I will
Yeah.
see you there.
Okay, great. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Thank
Take care,
you.
Jess.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.